A U.S. military aircraft crashes near Japan with 6 people on board. And former President Jimmy Carter makes a rare appearance to honor his late wife. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Wednesday, November 29th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Developing news this morning, at least one person has died after a U.S. military Osprey aircraft crashed into the ocean near an island off southern Japan. Japan's Coast Guard says a crew member recovered in the water among debris has been pronounced dead. The conditions of 5 others on the aircraft were not immediately known. There is no word yet on the cause of the crash. According to Japanese officials, the aircraft crashed near the island of Yakushima around 2:45 p.m. local time. U.S. and Japanese officials say the aircraft belonged to Yokota Air Base in western Tokyo. The Yakushima Airport Management Office said it received a call from U.S. military requesting an emergency landing before the crash. The Osprey, a hybrid aircraft that takes off and lands like a helicopter but can fly like an airplane, has been involved in at least 5 fatal crashes involving the U.S. Marines since 2012. In August, 3 people were killed when an Osprey with 23 Marines on board crashed in Australia during a routine training exercise. Today, Israel and Hamas are expected to release more hostages and prisoners in the final day of the extended truce in the Middle East. As diplomats and intelligence officials from Egypt, Israel, and the United States, including CIA Director William Burns, traveled to Qatar in an effort to extend the temporary pause in fighting. According to multiple sources, the CIA Director was meeting with Qatar's Prime Minister to discuss a broader hostage deal between Israel and Hamas, expanding beyond the release of only women and children to include men and military personnel. Burns is also seeking the immediate release of American hostages taken by Hamas, estimated to be between 8 and 9 people. According to the New York Times, Hamas has released a total of 85 hostages over the course of the 5-day ceasefire. Israel has released 180 Palestinians from its prisons. The CIA has sent an internal email to staff warning not to post anything political to social media after a senior analyst shared a pro-Palestinian picture on Facebook. A U.S. official tells NBC News that the email was just a reminder of the agency's existing policy. The CIA's warning came after its deputy director for analysis posted an image of a man waving a Palestinian flag that has been used in various reports criticizing Israel's role in the violence in the Middle East. A person familiar with the situation told the Financial Times, who first broke the story, that the senior analyst has not been disciplined and that they have an extensive background in all aspects of the Middle East, adding the post was not intended to express a position on the conflict. Still, this comes as there has been division in the federal government over the Biden administration's handling of Israel's response to the October 7th Hamas terror attack. Former President Jimmy Carter made a rare public appearance on Tuesday as he attended his late wife Rosalynn Carter's memorial service at a church in Atlanta. Carter, who is 99, has been in hospice care since February. The former president was seen in the front row wearing a blanket draped over his legs with an image of Rosalynn stitched on it. Dozens of political leaders were also in attendance to pay tribute, including President Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, former President Bill Clinton, as well as former First Ladies Hillary Clinton, Laura Bush, Michelle Obama, and Melania Trump. The Carters' marriage of 77 years was the longest of any first couple in U.S. history. The two were well known for their humanitarian work outside the White House. Rosalynn Carter died on November 19th at the age of 96. Charlie Munger, the vice chair of Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett's right-hand man for nearly 6 decades, died on Tuesday. He was 99 years old. Munger and Buffett took control of Berkshire Hathaway, a New England textile mill, in 1965 and turned it into a conglomerate worth more than $785 billion that owns brands like Geico, Dairy Queen, and Fruit of the Loom, and has stakes in companies like Apple and Coca-Cola. In a statement, Buffett said Berkshire Hathaway could not have been built to its present status without Charlie's inspiration, wisdom, and participation. At age 99, Munger was also serving on the board of directors of Costco and the Daily Journal Corporation. Ahead of what would have been his 100th birthday in just a few weeks, Munger remarked on his busy schedule during a recent interview with CNBC.
Well, I like it that way.
Yeah.
That's my idea of a proper old age for me. And I didn't plan it. It just happened. And when it happened, I welcomed it.
Finally this morning, don't blame the Grinch. He wasn't the reason why the National Christmas tree in Washington, D.C. toppled on Tuesday afternoon. You can blame a strong gust of wind for that. The wind caused the 40-foot tree near the White House to fall over and a cable to snap. At first, the National Park Service was not sure the already decorated tree would be back up in time for Thursday's lighting ceremony, saying the show must go on. But by Tuesday evening, the agency said the snapped cable was replaced and the tree was upright once again. President Biden, the First Lady, Vice President Kamala Harris, and the Second Gentleman are scheduled to attend the tree lighting ceremony, which has been a holiday tradition since 1923. These are your top stories for this Wednesday. Be sure to subscribe to the Morning Rundown newsletter to get the top stories each weekday morning. Just go to san.com/rundown to sign up. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.